One of the best decisions I ever made in my whole life was to change my career. I was a real estate professional at that point, a realtor, broker owner of a real estate company in Charlotte, North Carolina. I had found Feng Shui at this point. It had changed how I did business greatly. And I decided to just go ahead and leave that field and become a full-time Feng Shui consultant. I started my career after college as a mathematics teacher. I then moved into the corporate world and worked for AT&T for 5 years and soon became an instructor there. I then went into real estate and enjoyed it a great deal. But then I found Feng Shui, and it changed how I looked at an awful lot of things, and it made my life so much more enjoyable. So you'll find out as we go through this very short little video that you have the ability to become a difference maker. And that's the way I look at myself at this point. You're a difference maker for yourself, but for everyone in your life. Lisa Albin and myself created a school called the Intrinsic School of Feng Shui. We created it several years ago, and we really enjoy our day-to-day existence. We love being able to set up our own schedules, be creative, enjoy presenting to folks, and really loving to see people's eyes light up as they learn how powerful Feng Shui is. We thought it was very important to be able to use an awful lot of research to back up a lot of what goes on with Feng Shui. There's a lot of myths out there about Feng Shui, but a lot of it is based on total common sense. Here's one of those studies that, again, just opens up people's eyes. The study found a correlation of employees who had an office with a window and ones who did not, how it affected their health. So an office like this, for example, was found to be a problem. It was a problem not only for their health, but it was also a problem for productivity and also how happy they might become. So an office that has plenty of sunlight really increases an awful lot of very positive characteristics. Again, we like to use studies and research that we give to people in our modules that back up what Feng Shui is all about. So a conclusion that you should understand that any space, especially a smaller space, you really need to have natural light coming in. And a lot more of what's going on in the real estate field is our square footage is actually starting to reduce. So keep in mind the idea that natural light is a very positive antidote. Do you know what Feng Shui can do and how it can help you and your loved ones? There are so many subliminal messages that appear in a person's home or their office that are constantly in our face. Feng Shui takes care of these things and makes sure that the messages that come across are positive, encouraging. This is just one part of what happens. But again, something that you keep seeing day after day does not help you if it's not positive. Feng Shui changes the whole game for you. Do you have any idea how powerful you are? I promise you, most people have no idea. They really don't know their capabilities. Feng Shui really helps a person become successful and more confident. Most people don't even scratch the surface of what they can do. And Feng Shui techniques using intention really changes the fortune of yourself and others. Your environment is so important. And if you even think about just children, Their environment shapes their life. Well, it also shapes your life too. You think the environment of your parents or grandparents doesn't impact the enjoyment of their last years? It does. We don't want to see our relatives in an environment like you see here. But many of us see that. Our surroundings throughout the day really can aid or really hurt your success, your creativity, your production, how you feel safe or not, and your enjoyment of life. The impact of a child's development, success, and confidence is hugely important. A child can't help but be molded by what surrounds them. It might be just family and friends. They can be encouraged or discouraged very easily. The environment is really all of that and much, much more. Feng Shui changes the environment. It changes what kind of experiences they have on a daily basis. Let's take into account the elders in your life. You definitely want them to live out their golden years more positively than a lot of them do. You want them to be happy. You want them to be as healthy as long as possible. You really can play a big part in taking care of that situation for your relatives and a lot of other people's relatives. Your personal success is very, very important, not only to you, but to all your loved ones, to everybody around you. Your well-being, your success, your mental state is so important. But you know who else is important too? Everybody. Everybody you come into contact with, you can be a positive influence for them. The environment and feng shui, again, is one of the most important things in our world. It changes the way a space feels. It changes the way a space shows what is important constantly to the inhabitants. It changes the way a space flows. The flow is very important physically, but also mentally. It changes the way a space comes from being safe and secure on a subconscious level. And it changes the way a space comes across as being quite comfortable, very comfortable. The lifestyle is one that we have greatly enjoyed, Lisa and I. It energizes the person who is transforming people's lives. It gives a person who makes this a career a sense of freedom with their schedule and even how they conduct business. It generates a lot of very positive social contacts. It empowers the person to believe anything and everything is possible in their lives. It opens up many rewarding doors for a person to explore they had never even thought of. It raises a person's creativity like few things. And finally, it is just an awful lot of fun. So Lisa and I would love to answer your questions either by email, by phone, or doing a short Zoom, which we'd love to do with you. If you have questions or you just want to meet us and see what you think. So let us know how we can help you. We would love to be able